You're an expert in your field, but no one knows it. Writing a book for your business will change everything for you and your business. In this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of writing a book for your business. Before we dive into the reasons I think every entrepreneur should write a book for their business, please be sure to subscribe to Amplify Your Brand, where I help you write your book, build your brand, and claim your expert status on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get into the 5 different reasons I believe it's best that every entrepreneur has a book for their business. We're going to be talking about 1, passive income, 2, expanding your reach, 3, generating new qualified leads, 4, having a competitive advantage, and 5, building brand awareness, plus something I like to call ABC. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I've written over 30 books, and I know firsthand exactly how a book can build your business and change it in ways that you would have never imagined. I'm going to go ahead and go over these 5 reasons, the top 5 reasons that I believe every entrepreneur needs a book. So number 1 is passive income. This is an obvious no-brainer. Whether or not you're publishing your book on Amazon or you decide to sell your book on your own website, passive income is amazing. So for example, I have over 30 published titles and a majority of them are on Amazon. I would suggest you actually publishing on your own website simply because the royalties that you believe you'll get from your books really aren't as much as you would think. So with the 30 plus titles that I have, I bring in on average about $40,000 to $45,000 per year in royalties, which does sound like a lot, but I have to sell a lot of books. And then on top of that, when you're looking at the royalties from Amazon, if you price your book, for instance, at about $9.99, you're only getting a little over $2.50 per purchase after someone purchases your book. So obviously this is going to be different depending on how big your book is, whether or not it's an ebook or whether or not it's a paperback book, but your royalties really aren't as much as you would think they are on Amazon, okay? This is why I suggest publishing on your website, because your passive income is going to be much greater. For instance, you can actually sell a book on your own website for $17, $27, $47, whatever it is that your people are willing to pay. And therefore, you get to keep a majority of those profits. I do have a book that I sell on my website, and that book sells for $27, and it's simply an ebook. It's not even a paperback book. So you can generate a lot more passive income and a lot more income more quickly if you publish on your own website. There are a few other reasons. Even though I have published a majority of my books on Amazon, there are a few other reasons why I do suggest selling on your own website, but that's another video for another day, and I will record a video on that at a later date. So number 2 is expanding your reach, okay? So when you have a book, you are not just present in whatever your marketing channels are, meaning that if you're marketing via social media, okay, so that can be organic or paid, your reach is expanded when you have a book. Because with that book, you have the ability to have more media coverage. So people will be coming to you to ask you for an interview on their podcast, an interview on their YouTube channel. Maybe they want you to guest blog posts on their website because they see you have a book versus someone else who doesn't have a book. Having a book will expand your reach in many, many, many ways that you, at this point, if you don't have a book, can't even fathom how this is actually going to expand your reach, because people are going to see your book, whether or not you publish on Amazon or whether or not you publish it on your own website. They are going to see that you are an author and you have a book, and that way if that book gets into other people's hands, they may pass it on to their friends and family and tell everybody, hey, I want you to check out this book. So therefore, that is expanding your reach as an entrepreneur. That is one of the greatest things that you actually do need as a business owner, because obviously if you're in your own little circle and you run out of clients, how else are you going to get new people into your business to purchase your products and services? Moving on to number 3 is generating new and qualified leads. So this kind of plays into expanding your reach somehow, but it's that you are impacting more people than if you had not written a book and you're just posting on social media a couple times a week and you're praying that someone looks at your post and likes it and interacts and eventually becomes a customer. This is going to help you generate new qualified leads because they're going to see your book. They're going to know what the book is about. They read the book, they're going to know how you interact with people, how you speak, how you run your business. They will learn so much from your book. And then on top of that, writing that book is going to potentially bring these people in, and it'll be a segue for your other products and services. I do want to stop for a second and let you know that writing a book is actually not a business. So your book is not your business. The purpose of your book and the sole purpose of your book is to generate new qualified leads and turn these people who have purchased your book into raving fans who will purchase something else from you later on down the line. So I don't want you to get confused. When I wrote my first book, it actually was my business. And I learned the hard way that that's not the way things work. You use your book as leverage, and you do not write a book and say that your book is your business. So I hope that resonates with somebody. Okay, so next is competitive advantage. So a competitive advantage, writing a book puts you ahead of so much of your competition simply because a lot of people have this grand idea of writing a book, but they actually never do it. So I looked at statistics, and it's about 15% of the population has written like half of a book, and only 6% has actually, or 15% actually wanted to write a book, and 6% has actually gotten to the halfway point. So that means even less has gotten to the finishing point of writing their own book. So you writing a book, an ebook, paperback book, a short book, a long book, any kind of book is going to put you so far ahead of your competition that if someone is looking to do business with you and another person that is your competition, and they're doing their research, they're looking at the websites, they're looking at, reviews, testimonials, whatever. If they see that you have a book and your competition does not have a book, even though you're charging more money, which is another benefit of writing a book that I actually did not put on this list, but we can get onto that and do another video too. But if they are looking at you two and comparing and trying to figure out who they're going to go with for whatever service or product, and they see that you have a book, even though you're charging more money, they're likely going to come to you because they perceive you as an expert. Writing a book makes people believe that you are an expert because, like I said, not that many people actually write books or actually go through and complete the book that they intended to write. And then on top of that, if you took the time out to put your words down on paper, you must know what you're talking about, right? So tell me that having a book is not going to be a competitive advantage between you and your competitors, okay? Before we get to number 5, I want to know who here has thought about writing a book for their business. And number 2, if you haven't started or written your book, why not? Leave it for me in the comments. I want to know. So let's go ahead and move into number 5, which is building brand awareness. So writing a book will build your brand. Seriously. And like I said earlier, My very first book I wrote, it helped me build my business, but that is not the way I would suggest you being an established business owner and already having your systems and processes and products in place. And having that book is going to help you build brand awareness. Okay? So if you think back on your mentors, people that you look up to in business, think about it. They all have books, don't they? So we think about Myron Golden, Grant Cardone. There's a lot of other people I can't think of right now, but a lot of them have books. And do you think they just wrote these books because they were bored or because it was a lifelong goal of theirs? No, they wrote these books in order to build brand awareness, for one, and everything else on this list. So they did it for the passive income. They did it to expand their reach. They did it to generate new qualified leads because they are telling people what they do, what they're good at. They're doing it for the competitive advantage, and they are doing it to build their brand awareness. So that is the reason you need to write a book in order to help build your brand as well. Okay. So I did tell you I was going to go over something called ABC. And if you don't know what ABC is, it's something else that occurs after you write your book. So ABC stands for authority, building, content. That book that you write is going to be authority building content for your business that you can repurpose over and over and over again. You've only scratched the surface once your book is written. That book will multiply itself 10, 20, 30, 100, 1,000 times over the course of your business, because it is authority building content. And I will get into authority building content a little bit deeper on another video because I believe it warrants its own video. But you can kind of see where I'm going with this, basically, with your books. Because like I said, and I mentioned, and I do not suggest that my very first book did build my business, but if I had already had a real business in place and then I had written that book based upon my services, my products, and everything else that I'm really great at, my business would have exploded versus me struggling so long until I figured this out. So that first book was written in 2013-ish, somewhere around there. And it took me a while to figure out that that's really not the way you build your business. But if you already have a business and you write a book, this is authority building content that will serve you well for many, 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 many years to come. Okay, so those are my 5 reasons why I believe every entrepreneur needs a book for their business. So Amplify Your Brand is all about helping you write your book, build your brand, and expand your reach on YouTube. And I know writing a book in itself is such a struggle for a lot of people. So the Amplify Your Brand course will be coming out soon. That will cover everything you need to know about writing and publishing your book within 30 days and starting your YouTube channel so you can claim your expert status. If you would like to be one of the first to be notified when the course drops, I will leave a link below so that way you can sign up for the wait list. And in the meantime, I want you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with other people if you found some value in it, and I'm gonna see you on the next video.